What if the most powerful move you can make is doing nothing? In a world full of noise, Niccolò Machiavelli knew silence was the ultimate weapon. While others chase attention, you'll learn how ignoring them forces them to chase you. By the end of this video, you'll unlock the secret to using silence as your greatest tool for control. Don't blink, because the power shift is coming. The power of silence, why ignoring is a strategic move. Silence is not just the absence of noise, it's a tool that manipulates perception and shifts power. People underestimate the strength of ignoring someone. They think it's passive, weak, or even rude. But Niccolò Machiavelli understood that silence, in its purest form, is the most strategic way to take control of any situation. By not responding, you create space, and in that space, you become the one holding the cards. When you choose to ignore someone, it's not out of fear or disrespect. It's a calculated decision to create distance and force the other person to move toward you. The more they try to pull your attention, the more unpredictable and valuable you become. The person who constantly seeks attention is controlled by those who decide when to give it. But when you remain silent, you become untouchable. The less you engage, the more they start craving what they can't have. This is how silence demands respect. People want to engage with you because you've placed yourself above their reach. You've positioned yourself in a place of scarcity. And in this world, scarcity increases value. The more you ignore, the more they feel the need to win your attention. They'll question, why aren't they talking to me? What did I do wrong? What do they know that I don't? And in their desperation, they begin to move towards you. They're no longer in control. You are. You're not the one chasing their approval, validation, or attention. You've taken control of the interaction. You've turned the tables. And now they'll be the ones fighting to earn a piece of you. When you learn the art of silence, you'll see how easily you can manipulate the power dynamic. Silence forces others to second-guess themselves, forces them to evaluate their own behavior. It makes them wonder what they're missing, what's being hidden from them. And that curiosity creates unspoken power. So, when you choose to remain silent, you're not giving up your voice. You're reclaiming your authority, controlling the flow of the interaction, and making others work harder for your attention. The next time you find yourself in a situation where someone is demanding your response, ask yourself, does giving them an answer really benefit me? Or am I simply relinquishing control? By mastering the power of silence, you hold the cards. And in the world of power, the one who controls the silence controls the game. Destroying their ego. When you choose silence, you don't just withhold your words, you begin to dismantle their sense of control. Most people operate on ego. Their entire identity is tied to how others perceive them. So, when you refuse to engage, it starts to crack their facade. Silence forces them to question their own value. This insecurity grows quickly. They can't stand the feeling of being ignored. And that's where you hold the power. They can't control the situation if you won't play by their rules. As you stay silent, their ego starts to break down. Without your response, they lose the validation they so desperately crave. They feel small, irrelevant, powerless. And that's when the real game begins. You see, ego thrives on attention. When you take that away, it starts to disintegrate. The more you ignore them, the more they become desperate to fill that void. They'll search for answers, for any way to get you to acknowledge them. But as you stay silent, their need for recognition only grows, and they'll reveal themselves for who they truly are. This is the beauty of silence. It's not just about withholding words. It's about forcing them to confront their own weakness. When they beg for your attention, they're showing their true colors. And that vulnerability, their desperate need for your validation, is their downfall. In the end, silence becomes your most effective weapon. It exposes their insecurity, makes their ego crumble, and leaves them with nothing to hold on to. The more you ignore, the more they reveal about themselves, their weaknesses, their fears, their insecurities. And when their ego collapses, they lose the power they thought they had over you. If you're feeling the power of this strategy, drop a comment below and hit that subscribe button, because you won't want to miss what comes next. Why your absence creates desire. Absence is not just the lack of presence, it's a strategic move that drives desire. Think about it. The more available you are, the less people value you. When you're always present, always responding, always accessible, you lose your mystery, and with it, your power. But when you withdraw, you create a gap, a void. And in that gap, desire builds. When you remove yourself from a situation, people begin to feel your absence. It's like a sudden silence in a crowded room. The noise of their lives fades, and all they can hear is the echo of your absence. They start asking themselves, where did they go? Why aren't they responding? What are they doing that's more important than me? This is where the cold advantage lies. Your absence forces them to chase you. It forces them to wonder what they're missing out on. And that wonder makes them want you more. By withholding yourself, you become scarce. And as we know, scarcity increases value. When you're always around, they take you for granted. But when you pull away, they start craving your attention. They begin to question, why aren't they talking to me? Why do they seem so distant? That craving becomes obsession. This is the psychology of desire. When you're out of sight, they can't stop thinking about you. They wonder where you are, what you're doing, and why you're not giving them the attention they once took for granted. They start chasing, seeking your validation, your acknowledgement. But by the time they've realized it, you've already turned the tables. In this game, you control the pace. You control the desire. Your absence isn't weakness, it's power. You don't need to be around to be wanted. In fact, the less you're available, the more valuable you become. So, remember, when you withdraw, you're not giving up anything. You're creating desire. And when people desire you, they'll do anything to earn your attention. That's the power of absence. It's the cold advantage that only the truly strategic can wield. Manipulating perception, how ignoring forces them to chase you. Ignoring someone isn't just about silence. It's a psychological tactic that forces others to act in ways they can't control. When you withhold your attention, you manipulate how they perceive you. They begin to feel as if they're missing something valuable, something they can't have. The more you ignore them, the more they're compelled to chase you, to seek your validation, your attention, your approval. It's human nature. People fear what they can't have. And the more they want your attention, the more they begin to play by your rules. Ignoring them isn't about being cold. It's about controlling their perception of you. By denying them access, you raise your value. When people have to work for your attention, they begin to see you in a new light. They start to perceive you as someone who's important, someone whose time and attention are worth fighting for. This shift in perception is what makes the art of ignoring so powerful. As you withhold your attention, they start wondering, what do they know that I don't? Why are they so distant? What are they doing that I'm not a part of? This uncertainty drives them to pursue you. They feel the need to earn your presence. And once they begin to chase, you are no longer the one seeking approval or validation. You've flipped the script. Now they are the ones chasing you, scrambling for a piece of your attention. Manipulating perception through silence and absence forces them to question their own worth. Why aren't they responding to me? What did I do wrong? What am I missing? This uncertainty only increases their desire. The more they try to figure you out, the more their focus is on you, and not on anything else. They're no longer in control, you are. When you choose to ignore someone, you take back control. You become the object of their attention. They're the ones chasing, trying to earn a place in your world. And while they're scrambling, you stand firm, untouchable, knowing that you're the prize. In this game, silence is power, and absence is the ultimate form of control. By simply withholding your attention, you force them to chase, to question, and ultimately, to desire you. And in that desire, you hold all the cards. Silence as warfare. How to weaponize your lack of response. Silence is more than the absence of sound. It's a strategic weapon. When you choose not to respond, you're not just withholding words, you're shifting the entire power dynamic. In every interaction, there's a hidden battle for control. People expect a response. They expect you to engage. But when you remain silent, you don't play by their rules. You're in control. When they can't predict your response, they become desperate to figure you out. They'll start trying to get your attention, scrambling for your approval. And in doing so, they're no longer in control. You are. The less you engage, the more they'll crave your validation. They'll chase you. Silence creates a void, and that void creates desire. The more they want you to react, the more you hold the power. You become the one who decides when and if they get a response. In this dynamic, you don't need to fight for control. Silence forces them to act, to make the next move. The power shifts in your favor the moment you stop responding. You don't need to chase their attention. By simply withholding your response, you've already won the game. So, the next time someone demands your attention or reaction, choose silence. Let them chase. Let them question. And while they scramble for your validation, you sit back, untouched, knowing that you control the interaction. Silence, when used correctly, becomes the most powerful weapon in your arsenal. It shifts power, forces others to act, and makes them crave your attention. And when you hold that power, you hold the game. Breaking down their mind, the psychological effects of being ignored. When you ignore someone, you're not just withholding attention, you're attacking their sense of self. The moment you choose not to engage, you trigger a series of psychological effects that shatter their confidence. Ignoring someone creates a powerful dissonance in their mind. They've been conditioned to expect acknowledgement. People crave attention. They need validation. And when that validation is denied, it forces them into an internal crisis. Why aren't they responding? What's wrong with me? What did I do to deserve this? These questions echo in their mind, and each unanswered moment weakens their sense of self-worth. The absence of your attention leaves them questioning their own value. They start to look for flaws within themselves, trying to pinpoint where they went wrong. And here's the kicker. This discomfort makes them vulnerable. They begin to project their insecurities onto you. Are they mad at me? Did I say something wrong? In their desperation, they'll try harder to earn your attention, to regain what they've lost. And the more they chase, the more they reveal their weakness. This is where you gain the upper hand. The longer you remain silent, the more they spiral, the more they need you. Ignoring someone is not a passive act, it's a psychological weapon. You've forced them into a position where they have to second-guess their behavior, their worth, and their decisions. They're no longer in control. The real power comes from knowing that you control the situation. The more they chase you, the more they lose themselves in the process. They'll question, doubt, and analyze. But in the end, they will remain the ones seeking, always wondering what they've done wrong. When you master the art of ignoring, you weaponize their need for attention. You break down their confidence without lifting a finger. They will be forced to chase you, unable to understand why you hold the cards. And here's the truth. They will never have the same power again. They will always wonder, what is it that I'm missing? So, remember, ignoring isn't just silence, It's a tool to break down the mind and shift control back to you. Reclaiming control, how ignoring makes you unpredictable and dangerous. Ignoring someone doesn't just make you untouchable, it makes you dangerous. When you choose to remain silent, you shift the power dynamics. You take control by simply not engaging. Silence is your tool to reclaim control, and it forces others into a state of uncertainty. People are predictable. They expect certain behaviors, certain responses from you. But when you withhold those responses, you leave them in the dark. They can't predict what you'll do, and that unpredictability creates power. The more you ignore, the more they feel the need to figure you out. They start questioning their own actions. Why aren't you responding? What's going through your mind? Why aren't they getting the reaction they're used to? As they scramble for answers, they lose their sense of control. This is where you gain the upper hand. Silence forces them to act. It forces them to seek validation, to chase after your attention. And as they do, they reveal their insecurities and their vulnerabilities. The person who seeks constant attention is controlled by those who decide when to give it. But when you remain silent, you become unpredictable. You're the one who decides when to engage, and in doing so, you shift the control back into your hands. This unpredictability makes you a powerful figure. People can't figure out what you're thinking or when you'll react. The more they try to crack your code, the more desperate they become. And in that desperation, they begin to chase you, revealing their weaknesses. Silence makes you untouchable. You no longer react on their terms. You choose when to engage, when to act, and when to stay silent. In doing so, you shift the entire power dynamic. And as the one in control, you're the one who holds all the cards. You've now unlocked the power of silence, and with it, the ability to control any situation. The art of ignoring is a game changer. It's time to stop reacting and start reclaiming control. If you're ready to use these strategies in your own life, make sure to hit that subscribe button and comment below with your thoughts. I want to hear how you plan to use silence as your most powerful weapon. Don't forget to like this video if it opened your eyes to the untapped potential of your own silence. Share this with those who need to understand why silence isn't weakness, it's mastery. And remember, true power doesn't scream for attention, it commands it with quiet authority. Keep practicing, and you'll see how silence can shift everything in your favor. Until next time, stay untouchable.